boys and girls, we're here for some math, and this math is trace, count, and glue. Do you recognize these? There are 10 frames, and yesterday you did such a great job with our 10 frames. You traced the number that was in the apple, and then you went to the 10 frame and you colored in that amount. So if the number 3 was in the apple, you colored in 3 boxes of the 10 frame. Today, we have our 10 frames, but they look a little different. They wrote the number up top, the number 2. So we know that, oops, oh, gotta get this cover off. Whoop. So over here, they wrote the number 2 for us, T-W-O. That's how you spell the number 2. And you can trace that, T-W-O. Good. And in the 10 frame, they put 2 dots. 1, 2. Well, we have to go down below and we have to look for the number 2. Now, they want us to trace, count, and glue. So what do we have to do? We have to cut off the bottom. All right? And they give us the dotted line, which is a great help. I've got the one piece still up here, and I got my numbers. Good. So now we're going to cut off our numbers really carefully, because if we cut off part of the number, then it's not going to look like that number. Good. And this one I'm going to cut off, and I'm going to line them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they're trying to trick us. They kind of put the numbers 2, 1, 3, 5, 4. So they want us to be thinkers. That's okay. We can do it. So our first one is 2. Well, if you could say, well, Mrs. Sylvan, how do I know that that says 2? Let me think. Well, there are 2 dots in my 10 frame. So I know that says 2. Got to go look for my number 2. There it is. Good job. Putting it in the box, the number 2. Good. Excellent. So the word 2, 2 dots in my 10 frame, and then the number 2. Good job. All right. We're going to go back and trace those letters afterwards. All right. Let's go underneath. Now, I don't, Mrs. Sylvan, I don't know how to read that word. I don't know what that number is. Well, count the dots. 1, 2, 3. 3. So that word says 3. And you can hear the E's. So that gives you a clue. 3. Good. Excellent. Trace the word 3. Good. See, when you're saying words, you're going to hear those letters that you've been learning all year. Yes. All right, let's go to our numbers and let's look for the number 3. We got it. Good job, 3. And we're putting it underneath our 10 frame. Good. All right, boys and girls, let's go to the middle one. Oh, Mrs. Sylvan, I don't know how to read that word. Well, what number begins with an F? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many dots are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. Let's trace the word 4. The word 4. Good. Excellent. All right, let's look for the number 4. Good. Here it is. Glue it in the middle. Excellent job. Super. All right, 2, 3, 4. All right, we have 2 left. Let's go up top. 1. 1. And how many dots? 1. Good job. Let's trace the number 1. 1. Kind of a funny looking word, right? You hear the N in the middle? 1. Good. Number 1. Excellent. All right. Let's glue that number 1 under our 10 frame. Super job, boys and girls. All right. And our last 10 frame, well, we know 4 begins with an F, but here's a V in here. What word do you know that has an F and a V in it? Five. Good. Let's trace the word five. Okay. Five. All right. Let's count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dots and the word five. And now let's find our number 5. Oops, here it is. Good. All right. Let's glue that on under our 10 frame. Excellent. All right. Well, we've filled in, we've traced all the number words. We counted the dots in the 10 frames and then glued on the right number. And I think it would be really good practice to go back and just trace each number. So I'll go to my number 2. Now you're not going to be able to see it, but that's okay. That's just good practice. Good. And then my number 3 and my number 4, my number 1, and the number 5. Good. All right. So we filled in our 10 frames nicely and we counted. So we did trace, count, and glue. Good job, boys and girls. Great counting, great writing, and great thinking. I'll see you in a little bit for some more math.